Stock is the material that will be cut when using the CNC machine. There are a variety of factors when determining what type of material to use, and the design constraints associated with the geometry that is desired. If the expected resultant geometry is anticipated to be larger than the height of the bed to the spindle, or larger than the bed itself, the design should be reconsidered to be segmented instead of one single cut. An example that will be used in this tutorial is a formwork for concrete that is made out of rigid insulation foam. The intention of this walkthrough is to highlight critical decisions that will have been made when utilizing the CNC machine and to apply lessons learned onto future projects. The example project is a complex concrete model at a 1:2 scale. Given the limitations of the CNC machine, in addition to the material properties of the concrete, CNCing concrete would not be ideal for this case, but given that the concrete needs to be casted, the use of a mold that can be CNC'd is a more viable option. In this example, the stock needs to consider what can be effective for casting, as well as removing after the concrete is cured. Wood could be an option for the material, however it is not ideal for separating from the final cast. Foam became a more ideal solution due to it not being such a dense material for removal with the concrete, in addition to it having a faster cut time. Stock determinations should be consulted with the workshop staff before developing a digital model to be cut. Using rigid insulation foam for the stock creates certain design constraints. For example, rigid insulation comes in a variety of thicknesses. In this case, 2-inch thick foam was used. Given the nature of this application and the size of the geometry, the foam was processed to the desired profile shape and then glued together using an adhesive to increase the depth at which the geometry needed to be cut. The reasons for not increasing the depth of the stock to 6 inches is due to the height of the spindle relative to the bed, and the depth at which the stock needed to be cut. In this case, the cut needed to be 4 inches deep, which subsequently affected the lengths of the tool bits that were able to be used. Another example that should be addressed is the dimensions of the stock. A shortcoming in this example was that the stock was fixated around the dimensions of the actual geometry. While the result of this decision was not detrimental to the use of the CNC machine, it required a custom jig to be attached. What would have been a more suitable option is if the stock was to be doubled to increase the surface area contact with the vacuum.